My friends, I hope you guys are doing well. I wanted to come on and do a love reading. I want to do a you and them. I was hearing you and them, and I was seeing mountains. So mountains are symbolic of obstacles, and I was seeing you overcome obstacles. So I felt called to do a you and them. Right before I started this reading, I found this under my chair. I have no idea how it got there. It's the Wheel of Fortune. So, Wheel of Fortune, fate, karma, cycles, forces of the universe, get what you deserve, it's out of your hands, destiny, and synchronicity. So, that get what you deserve stuck out to me. So, you could be getting some good karma right now. The person you're connected to maybe is getting what they deserve, if you know what I mean. I'm also very focused on this spiral. So spirals represent patterns, repeating cycles. So you could have broken some sort of cycle here and now you're getting your good karma. I don't know why I'm hearing your person could have failed to break or heal a cycle and they could be receiving not good karma. But let's get into it. So you and them. It's interesting that I found that underneath my chair. I have no idea how it got there. So we're going to start with this deck, Situationship Oracle. So let's see what the situation is. We have heartbroken, deeply hurt and sad, feeling lost, grieving and despair, breakup. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Happy December. Well, depending on when you're finding this reading, but it's December 1st today. Happy December. We have ship. Cutting ties, moving on, receiving what you need, progression, and arriving. Interesting. So one more shuffle, and then we'll see. Yeah, we have karmic relationship, resentments and triggers, perception, intensity and letting go, turmoil and fleeting. And that's not to say this is a karmic relationship. Counterpart relationships are also karmic in nature, so hang on. There could have been something with communication. I noticed that karmic card said perception, so you and this person could have had different perceptions and maybe had clashing perspectives or clashing perceptions. There could have been miscommunication, but let's cut the deck and see what we're dealing with here. We have higher commitment, eternity, partnership and union, completion. So it feels like some sort of cycle had to come to an end in order for there to be completion. You could have felt this could be a soul contract with this card, higher commitment. Maybe you were married to this person or you saw yourself marrying this person. This is giving me Hierophant energy, so soul contract. So let's see what's happening here. You could be dealing with a runner. I do have Kleenex. Yay! Could be dealing with a runner. All right, so I think I want to start 333 on the timer. I think I want to start, I'm going to do a you and them, so I'm going to ask about you first with this deck. So let's see what energy you're in. Very interesting. Yesterday I was going to do a reading and I was actually picking up on a runner's energy and I ended up procrastinating and not doing the reading because the runner energy was so strong. I'm not saying that's what's happening in this reading, but I feel like I'm going to do a reading about a runner, channeling a runner's energy. Not today. But anyway, we have Cupid's arrow, have faith, love is coming. This is you. So you're trying to have faith that communication is coming. It's communication that you're trying to have faith in here. Because we have love call and have faith. So I don't know if this communication has happened yet, but I feel like that's what you're manifesting and you're trying to keep a positive mindset. We also have love call. So expressing love, messages of love, thinking of you, informing you. But with the combination of this have faith, I feel like this is what you're trying to have faith in, that you're going to hear from this person. You're trying to keep confident. I'm noticing that this phone is yellow. So I feel like you're trying to keep a positive mindset and remain confident that this person is going to reach out to you. We do have the mirror, mirroring each other, self-reflection, introspection, inner wounds. So it feels like you're trying to have faith that this person is thinking about you and that they're going to inform you that they're thinking about you. You could be hovering over your phone a bit, or you could just be picking up your phone and like, why did I just pick up my phone? You may be subconsciously checking your phone for a message from this person. I also feel like you're trying to have faith that this person is doing the self-reflection and the inner work that you are working on. You're trying to have faith that the mirroring concept is real. So you're trying to have faith that whatever you're working on, this person is working on, whatever you're feeling, they're feeling, that's mirroring energy. But you also could be a counterpart. And you could have had a mirror connection with this person where you triggered each other's wounds. So I'm just going to get a few more for you. Let's see, what do we need to know about the viewer? So we have cut down, stop the pattern, stop the cycle, stop the pattern. So it feels like there was some sort of pattern that was repeating where you needed to cut it down to stop it. Cutting out, separation, stop the pattern, silent treatment. So it feels like you stopped communicating with this person. And when I say you were giving them the silent treatment, I'm not talking about you giving them the silent treatment in a manipulative way. I'm talking about, there goes my throat chakra again. So I'm talking about some sort of cycle repeating where maybe this person wasn't doing the inner work, they weren't doing the reflection with the mirror. And I always talk to you guys about, being stuck in a pattern with another person, or being stuck in a pattern with a certain lesson, but a different person coming, like different people coming into your life repeating the same pattern. I always talk about how the only way to stop the pattern is to stop engaging with it. So I'm not talking about you giving this person the silent treatment to be mean or to be manipulative. I'm talking about boundaries, like healthy boundaries, and realizing that you're stuck in some sort of pattern, that it's out of your control, this pattern. And the only way to stop the pattern is to step away from it or cut it out with this axe. Also, this person could have been giving you the silent treatment. So the fact that I brought up a runner, that I was picking up on a runner's energy yesterday, and I felt really called to do a reading for a runner, even though I know a lot of runners don't watch tarot. They're too busy running. They've got their running boots on. I don't know. I just heard a squeaky door. Could be symbolic of the fact that my door needs oil or WD-40 or whatever, but there's something about that. Something needs tweaking, I'm hearing. Anyway, you could have been dealing with someone, I have no idea what this other card is, but you could have been dealing with someone who was giving you the silent treatment in avoidance. So instead of communicating, or instead of finding a resolve, they just gave you the silent treatment. And the silent treatment is a form of emotional. And a lot of people who give the silent treatment, I'm not here to make excuses for anyone, but it's learned behavior from their parents. That's what I learned in my household. Thankfully, I've healed that. But a lot of people who do the silent treatment, who run away and avoid, they can't comprehend or understand the damage that it does to the person on the receiving end. It's very painful when someone gives you the silent treatment. So there could have been a lot of triggers within this relationship that were triggering patterns. And I feel like you needed to stop the pattern to cut this out. It says cutting ties, moving forward. So you could have had to move forward or move on without this person. The name Elizabeth could be symbolic. Also, this person could have yelled at you because when I hit stop, a video started playing on my screen and it was this masculine yelling. I get that they're trying to get your attention on like those social media videos or whatever they're called, but like if this person was yelling at you, actually, do you know what I'm hearing? Because it triggered me a little. You could have some sort of wound where yelling triggers you because of your childhood. Like maybe you heard your parents yelling. And I'm not just talking about like angry yelling. That guy wasn't angry yelling, but even like happy, excited yelling could have triggered you. I'm not saying this person was yelling at you in a happy, excited way. I think maybe there was a silent treatment and yelling, but it could have triggered a childhood wound within you. All right, let's see what this card is. Clock. Needing time, takes time, cycles, patterns, time to heal, progressing. Days of our lives could be symbolic, but it almost feels like there was a delay here because there was some sort of pattern that was repeating. So there was a delay. It was out of your control. It was out of your control. So you had to ship, cut ties, cut down, stop the pattern, and go into silence, go into hermit mode in hopes that this person in time would reflect. And I have to give it to you. You're trying to keep a positive mindset here. Your person could have had some toxic tendencies is what I'm hearing. All right, so I'm going to put, that's on the bottom. No, that came out. I'm going to keep it. So let's see what's going on with your person. Don't come out, runner. Don't you dare come out. Let's see what's going on with your person. So we do have engagement ring on the bottom. And we have passion. So you could have triggered their, you really could have triggered their, I'm hearing a few different things. You could have triggered their fear of commitment because I was hearing runner, although it didn't come out. We do have passion, insane chemistry, sparks and having fun, equal interest, burning desire. And then we have the coffin. New beginnings, liberation, reborn and transition, tragic endings. So clearly there was a tragic ending here, even though they felt this insane chemistry with you. And what I'm about to say next won't resonate with everyone. But this person could have been married or engaged or been in a committed connection when you met them. And perhaps, they felt this spark with you. Maybe they weren't even looking to meet someone. It just kind of happened. You came together and you sparked something within this person. But something had to end in order to make way for a new beginning. So whether that was a connection in their life, whether that's right now a pattern that needs to end in order for a new beginning. It also says tragic ending. Let's get another one for your person. One more. Well, we have mask, hiding true feelings. I'm going to take that one. Hiding true feelings. It also says gaslighting, and I was mentioning toxic things. All right, so this is actually good. We have self-indulgence, self-worth and value, time to heal, shadow work, self-appreciation. So this person could have been running from their own shadows. They could have been denying that masquerade ball could be symbolic, but they could have been denying that they needed to heal, denying it to you, denying it to themselves. I feel like right now this person is hiding their true feelings, hiding that they feel this with you, this burning desire for you. Again, there could have been gaslighting here, and I was hearing yelling, silent treatment. I feel like you and this person were triggering each other, and this person needs to take time to heal and to self-evaluate. I feel like they weren't just gaslighting you, they were gaslighting themselves. And it was out of your control. Green eyes could be symbolic. Well, that's good that they're taking time to heal and doing shadow work about the things that they were gaslighting you about, perhaps. All right. Let's get 2 more for your person. Didn't want to come out. Okay, so we have the golden mirror and we have soulmates. Soul connection, partnership, soul contract. So I feel like you're the one. You're the one. Come to break the spell. Beauty and the Beast. Isn't there a mirror in Beauty and the Beast? And let me be clear, you don't have to be the person to break the spell. You don't have to be the person to break the pattern. I'm seeing that channeled message. No one's made me want to change like you have. So we do have the golden mirror here, which shows that this person, remember I was hearing yelling, I was hearing silent treatment, I was hearing gaslighting, golden mirror energy. They could have been very self-focused. They could have been denying the things that they needed to work on, denying their shadows. And I feel like you were the one that was meant to trigger them. I just heard put them in their place, but I don't know if you actually put them in their place or you just went quiet. But I feel like this person needed, look, we have a mirror. So they needed to see some of these things like reflected back to them. And maybe the people they've been around have overlooked that type of behavior, but you were like triggered by it and maybe you reacted to it. But I'm hearing you were the one who has come to break the spell. So I feel like you were the one, soul contract, that was meant to help this person see through their mask, see through their shadows. But again, I feel like they gaslit you. And we have coffee cup, interested in talking. So you're over here trying to believe in mirroring, trying to keep a positive mindset, hoping that they're thinking about you. They're over here thinking about you, wanting to talk to you. This could have been someone who sabotaged this connection. We have sabotage and rebuild. So it could have been like on again, off again. Or they could have said they wanted to change, but didn't actually change. Maybe their words didn't match their actions. Max could be symbolic. Maxwell, Maximus, Maxine. All right. So that gives us an idea of what's going on. I can see why the Wheel of Fortune was underneath my chair now. Oh, where did you come from? That must have came out with their cards. Interested in you. Teddy bears could be symbolic. Interested in you. All right. I feel like this person, look at what's underneath sabotage and rebuild, the hammer. So I feel like this person kept self-sabotaging this, and we have conditioning here. We have programming here. So this could have been programmed into this person as a child. I was recently watching, I'm not giving any spoilers, but I was recently watching Stranger Things. And a character in that show was talking about how children are easy to program because they're naive and they're weak and you can just program them however you want. And it made me think of how true that is, like as children were programmed. So like imagine this person as a child, again, not making excuses for them, but they have a parent who yells and gives a silent treatment and gaslights, kind of like I grew up. And then they grow up watching that. And then I always say 3 things can happen. Either they watch their parents like that and they grow up with the intention to heal and never be like their parents. Cycle breaker. Or they overcompensate or undercompensate in some way. So maybe they grow up to be a people pleaser, to walk on eggshells, to not anger people so that they don't get yelled at and given the silent treatment. Or they could go the other way and overcompensate and actually behave like their parents. He's still there, still yelling. I think it's a video about what girls hate. And he's like, what do girls hate? Part 3. Wah! And he's just like yelling. Anytime I get to a video like that, I'm just like, oh my gosh, get away from me. All right, so I'm going to get an animal card for each of you. And then I think because of the energy that's coming through for your person, I think I'm going to get how they're feeling with this deck. All right, so we're going to get one for you. One for you first. One for you first. Cut the deck. Oh, we have the tarantula. Are you at a crossroads of some sort? Perhaps with your life purpose and your mission. I can't help myself. The tarantula. I love the tarantula. So you could be at a crossroads claiming your life's mission, tarantula. We also have Queen of Pentacles energy here. Very gentle, very nurturing, very down to earth. You could be a parent. But let's see what comes out for you. Something about your job and your mission I'm hearing, but this is about love, Spirit. All right, so show me the viewer. Oh, I didn't get pins. I'm gonna, you know what? Let's just stop for a minute. Cover your ear holes. Turn the volume down. Down. All right, let's get a pin for you first. That's weird. The initials FADRAGAD could be symbolic. We have death, transformation. Scorpio energy. So you're going through a transformation. I've never even seen that one. Transformation, transition. Maybe you're transitioning out of a job and working towards your mission. Something has ended here, though. Like maybe you're no longer going to put up with that behavior is what I'm hearing. And we'll get one for your person. The name Mark could be symbolic. That's weird. I'm feeling very drawn to a book that's sitting off of there. We have the sun, but it's in reverse. Interesting. So your person could have had some problems with their ego. And people with narcissistic tendencies, I'm not saying they're a narcissist. If they are a narcissist, I wouldn't be watching tarot. But people have narcissistic tendencies learned from childhood. The sun in reverse, they have very fragile egos. Also, this person feeling like a dark cloud is over their head, Leo energy. Feeling like they took you for granted. Feeling unfulfilled. There's darkness, like a dark cloud over their head. And while I was pulling for you, I was looking at a wind chime. Oh, there's a spiral on the wind chime. Pattern, Wheel of Fortune energy. You're making adjustments. And then when I was getting a pin for your person, I was looking at this book. I was seeing the name Mark. It didn't start with you. And it's a book. This is strange, how inherited family trauma shapes who we are and how to end the cycle. Excuse me, person connected to my viewer, you need to read this book. You need to read it too, maybe. You know what I'm going to do? Is it page 26 that we turn to when we get that book card? Let me look at page 26 and see what it says. The way that stress can be inherited. We map out how the biological residue of traumas your grandmother experienced can be passed down with far-reaching consequences. And I've been listening to something about that with what's his name? He's a scientist, I think. He did this show, The Cosmos. What's his name? Neil something? I don't know. But it was a podcast where they were talking about how like females or AFABs have their grandmother's eggs in them or something. And they were talking about how trauma can be passed down. Anyway. So your father's, I don't know if I'm allowed to say sperm, continued to multiply when he reached puberty, whereas your mother was born with her lifetime supply of eggs. Once her egg cells were formed in your grandmother's womb. So 12 to 40 or so years later, one of those eggs, fertilized by your father, eventually developed into who you are today. Scientists believe that our parents' genes forged the blueprint from which we were created. And with the right amount of guidance and nutrition, we would develop seamlessly according to plan. We now know that our genetic blueprint is merely the starting point, as influences from the environment from as early on as conception begin to shape us emotionally, psychologically, and biologically. So like if this person was in their mama's tummy and the mother was like screaming at this person's father, or the father was screaming at them, that's all absorbed by you as a fetus. So it starts at conception. Anyway, I was looking at this when I was thinking about your person. It didn't start with you. What does the back of that book say? I'm getting confused. Depression, anxiety, chronic pain, phobias, obsessive thoughts. The evidence is compelling. The roots of these issues may reside in the traumas of our parents, grandparents, and even great-grandparents. Well, I believe that. I talk about it. The latest research affirms that traumatic experience is passed on to future generations, and that this emotional inheritance hidden in everything from our gene expression to everyday language plays a far greater role in our health than ever previously understood. And this book is about identifying and breaking these inherited family patterns. It Didn't Start With You by Mark Woolen. And look at the little spiral on here. Spirals are significant. Have you been seeing spirals? So again, we have death and sun. So let's get some letters. Close your ear holes. Just gonna get a couple more. All right. Y, B, Z, E, E, D, U, L, Z, I, M, C, R, I, H, E, F, Y, G, Z, A, F. And just a couple charms. I wonder if the spiral lollipop will come out. I don't see it. That's all right. Look, we have a full heart here. So you could be really focused on self-love right now. Filling up your own cup, filling up your own reserves, healing yourself. We have the ship's wheel, wheel of fortune energy, cycles, patterns. It's out of your control. The only thing that's in your control is healing your patterns, your cycles. You can't heal somebody else's. So sometimes we have to let go of that wheel. We have the key, Hierophant energy. I feel like you were the key to help this person, if they want to in this lifetime, see what they need to heal. Oh, that's really good. We have a blue circle, which is about completion. Completion of a cycle, pattern. That's good. We have a treble clef. Is that what that's called? With a little April could be symbolic. There's a diamond in there. It's pink, divine feminine energy, or the energy. We have a star, symbolic of healing, and look at that little baby star. It's just making me think of what I just read about how we start absorbing this stuff at the time of conception. So like while you were in your mama's belly, or your person was, not in your mother's belly, you know what I mean, in their mother's belly. It's funny, I have scoliosis. Oh my gosh, hang on. I have scoliosis, and I recently looked up the spiritual significance of scoliosis, and it talks about experiencing trauma while you're in the womb. And about how things get all twisted up. We have a lonely little dolphin. Dolphins, symbolic of effective communication, happiness, joy, collaboration, community, harmony. We have a flamingo. Flamingo. I'm going to have to look up what a flamingo means now. It's like this fuchsia color. Look, it matches my lipstick. We have transformation, butterfly, transformation, something about yellow. And we have the peacock, advanced acceptance of self and others. And that's why people are always like, stop making excuses for people. I have a high acceptance or whatever acceptance of self and others, so I can kind of see where they're coming from. Doesn't mean we have to allow them to hurt us, though. Now, I just want to pause this and go find, I think I have a book that mentions a flamingo. Hang on. I do. It's Animal Spirit Oracle. I think I've only used it once or twice on the channel, so maybe I need to use it. Flamingo is on page 22. What are you? Interesting. I was having a phoenix attack right before this reading, and phoenix just flew off the top of the animal deck. As I was saying, 22, that could be symbolic for someone. 22, the flamingo. Balance, harmony. Balance is not something you find, it's something you create. I honor my needs and priorities, maintaining a healthy balance between work, rest, and play. I embrace both the dark and the light in me. That's beautiful. I live in alignment with my values and purpose, creating a life of harmony and fulfillment. So there could have been something that was out of balance within this connection. This talks about embracing both the yin and yang aspects of our existence. I'll just show you the card. I feel like I have to get one of these cards for each of you now. Phoenix, circle. You could have gone through a Phoenix moment here. All right, so let's get a card for you from this deck, and then I'll get one from that deck. The snake and the horse. So the horse, earth energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, never gives up. So you really could be trying to keep a positive mindset here, not give up. When out of balance, feels weak, runs away. But when in the upright, free-spirited, never gives up, never admits defeat. And there's something about your intuition here, trusting your intuition. It is in the upright. This card also talks about meditation and physical stamina. So you could be working on meditating, or you could be taking time to meditate right now. Also strength training, weightlifting, working out, walking, physical activity. We also have the snake. So there's definitely, you are going through some sort of transformation here. Maybe even a Kundalini awakening. Untapped potential. So you have potential within you that maybe you haven't been tapping into, or you're just starting to tap into. And maybe you have all this potential, but you're afraid to share it with the world. Mission, the tarantula. I also think it's interesting that that's more earth energy, but that snake in a circle, cycles. So let's see the snake. Oh my God. Snake. Unawakened magic and creative potential. The snake is a symbol of our highest potential. So maybe you're considering the amount of unawakened or untapped potential within. What would it look like if you woke it up? How can you stir it from its slumber? Prosperous, creative, charismatic. When out of balance, starts and stops many things. So when I was out of balance, I would start and stop so many things. Like I would get, I'm going to learn how to knit. And I would buy the loom thing and the knitting stuff. And I'd be like, oh, this is so great. And then I'd stop. A lot of ADHD people, it's called hyperfixation. So they get hyperfixated on something. And then all of a sudden they're not interested in it anymore. It's also, to me, it's now like reflecting back, it's a sign that your soul is looking or trying to guide you towards your purpose. So maybe if you feel like you have this untapped creative potential within you, start revisiting the things that you started and then stopped, or started and gave up on. That could be the key to your mission. I don't even need to read the horse. I already told you about it. Let's get one more for you. Well, what's on the bottom? We have the gazelle. So look at that gazelle, patient, grounded. You could be very intuitive, sensitive to the subtle, I'm hearing. So let's see one more for you. We have the firefly and the bat, rebirth, transition, letting go. So I feel like you are trying to let go. You could be trying to tap into your divine feminine energy, releasing control. Remember, it's out of your control, the Wheel of Fortune. But this is like rebirth, transformation energy. We also have the firefly, which talks about little flashes of inspiration. So you could be getting little downloads right now and ignoring them, whether it's about this connection, whether it's about your life, whether it's about your mission. Don't ignore them. Don't second guess them. If something pops into your head, write it down. Write it down. That's what I do now. Is like last night I was seeing mountains and I was like, I'm going to write that down. And I was hearing overcoming obstacles. I'm going to write that down. Even when I made autistic content, usually I got downloads when I was showering because of water, or now I get them when I'm working out, when I'm grounded to the earth working out, physical stamina. But it would just be like little sparks. And this firefly card talks about grab that spark is fleeting. So if you don't grab it, it goes away or it dissipates. Kind of like intuition. Intuition doesn't scream. It doesn't repeat itself. It whispers. So it's important when you hear that whisper to write down whatever it is. Maybe journaling could be good for you. I want to see how you're feeling about your person. How are you feeling about this person? Okay, so we do have the unicorn, magical. Do any of you, have you heard of the Conqueror Challenge on the Conqueror app? It's where you walk and you get medals. Anyway, I just, right before I started this reading, I signed up for one. And the only reason I signed up for it is because on the medal, there's a unicorn. I was like, I don't know what that's about, but I need that in my life. So for how you feel about this person, you could be feeling like you have a divine connection with them, but you could be questioning it. We did have that karmic card want to come out. It didn't come out. So you could have gone back and forth like, is this a karmic or is this my counterpart? You clearly feel a divine connection with them, with the unicorn. But the unicorn also talks about questioning divinity. So they could have made you question divinity. Okay, so this is how you're feeling about your person. Yeah. That's some powerful stuff. I share my life with people who add to my happiness. That's your affirmation. Who add to your happiness. So this is how you feel about your person. I am not surprised that this came out. It's actually what I was seeing in my mind's eye when I was shuffling. The Scorpion. So someone easily triggered, someone very reactive, someone who stings maybe when you get too close or when they're feeling triggered. You could also be thinking about a situation in the past where they burned you with their stinger. Very defensive energy, the Scorpion. We also have the Phoenix and the Butterfly, so it could have taken you a while to transition away from this person or transition out of this pattern. I feel like this is how you feel about this person. So I feel like you got burned. Like you could have tried to fly away from this or tried to transform this connection, but maybe you kept getting burned, right? We have the Scorpion, so that makes sense. Like they kept burning you, you kept touching the fire and you kept getting burned. Maybe not learning your lesson. And I don't mean that to insult you. It's a human thing. We repeat patterns and lessons until we burn ourselves so many times that we phoenix. So you could feel like this person burnt you quite a bit. There's something about the Phoenix that Spirit's telling me to look at in the book. Anyway, for how you feel about this person, I feel like you're feeling like you've transformed, that their transformation is out of your control, Wheel of Fortune, and that if you are to transition into a connection with them, they would need to phoenix themselves. I feel like I'm hearing that song by Taylor Swift again, sick and tired of always rising like the phoenix. And that, to me, that song is so symbolic of a divine feminine who continues to like try and continues to phoenix and heal and learn their lessons. And there's that questioning, like, how long am I supposed to do this without seeing my person mirror it, right? Phoenix. Spirit told me to look at the Phoenix. Freedom from suffering, past karma. So this person could have a lot of baggage that they need to burn through, that they need to rise above. And like I looked at that book, it didn't start with you, so you could know that it stems in their family line. All right, let's get... You could also feel like this person changed you because they taught you a lesson. All right, I'm going to get one out of this deck since I picked it up and touched it. Oh, look at that cute little doggy. So cute. All right, a card for you, my friends. We have the Robin. Your name could be Robin. It also says hope, so you're trying to keep hope alive. But let's shuffle you one out. Robins could be symbolic. Robins are also a symbol of new beginnings, spring. So let's see a card for you. Do I want to take all these? Let's just take them. Oh, that's beautiful. We have the zebra, individuality, uniqueness, 33. I can't show you the rest of that image because YouTube won't like it. But you could be focusing on your own uniqueness, your own individuality, especially if you're going after your mission. We have the panda, kindness, compassion. When I was at Universal, if you guys have ever been, they have these lockers that you have to scan your face in order to unlock it. And I would make the most ridiculous faces on the lockers. And then I would have to remember what ridiculous face I made. One of them was like, and then I had to recreate it to open the locker. Panda, kindness, compassion. And there's 4 pandas in this tree. So I feel like you could be trying to learn how to show yourself kindness and compassion. Again, naked person. But there's 4 pandas in that tree, which makes me think of the Way of the Panda Tarot and the 4 of Wands card, where they're all in a tree like this. So you could be working on your stability. working on your kindness and your compassion. Also, kindness and compassion, peacock energy. So you could have a lot of kindness and compassion in your heart towards this person because of their upbringing. Again, it doesn't mean that we have to put up with less than we deserve. It doesn't mean we have to allow them to mistreat us. But you could have that unconditional love for this person. Is someone eating? Like, seriously? Are you eating? We have butterfly, transformation, change, freedom. So, this connection could have been stopping your transformation. It could have been keeping you in that goo state, in that cocoon, unable to grow your wings. And by liberating yourself, stop the pattern, end the cycle. Now your wings are sprouting. Beautiful. And we have the swan, so fitting for you, isn't it? There's a lot of nakedness on these cards. I guess animals are naked. Animals aren't wearing clothes in these, so makes sense. Divine feminine energy, 13, death, transformation. So you're transforming into grace and confidence. Your name could be Grace. Beautiful. Divine feminine. Ooh, my ears just started ringing. Hello. Was that you? And look at this beautiful phoenix there. Amazing. All right, so let's get back to your person here. I notice that when I switched over to your person, it suddenly got dark in here, which is reminding me of that sun in reverse. Ooh, the crocodile in reverse. We're shuffling, but crocodile in reverse is someone who lashes out. Someone who doesn't take the time to emotionally regulate themselves and lashes out. You know, in the upright, it talks about intentionally pulling your energy back so that your next action comes from a place of power. When it's in reverse, it's about lashing out. All right, here we go. We've got the octopus. Messy relationships. They could be worried about what other people think. There could have been other people's opinions involved in this connection. This is someone yearning. Lacking boundaries, resulting in messy relationships. And we have the mouse. Anxiety, scared, timid, nervous. Their energy is very different than yours. Let's see your person's energy. All right, that is really interesting because this was on the bottom underneath the... what was on the unicorn for how you felt about them. I almost mentioned it, but I didn't. So your person could have a hard exterior or a tough exterior. They could be neurodivergent. This card talks about someone who gets overstimulated, overwhelmed. They could even have, I'm hearing C, I don't know the correct initials. CP... Is it PTSD? Is that how you pronounce? Is that the... So CPTSD, so childhood trauma? Anyway, this, for your person, they could have pulled their energy back here, or they could be pulling their energy back from family and friends right now, because the lizard card talks about, like, withdrawing. So this could have been someone that got very overwhelmed. And we have the wolf. So your person could be a bit of a loner. Look how dark it is in here. I might have to open the window. So when I started this reading, it was really sunny out, and the whole time I was doing your side, because I started with you with animal cards, I had to pull my blind over because it was so sunny. And now it's completely dark outside, like not dark nighttime, but cloudy. And when I started recording this clip, a clip, like a sound clip, started playing that said, "Give them time." So I feel like this person is giving this some time. And maybe you need to give them some time to transform here. But anyway. So I feel like this person is in a bit of a loner energy right now, which is making me think of the Hermit. It's making me think of Four of Swords, which is good. Now, the Wolf card talks about someone who is following in their parents' footsteps. Because the wolf trains the rest of the tribe, or their babies or whatever, I don't know, pups, to do exactly what they do, to hunt the way they do, to whatever it is that wolves do, the way that their parents do. So it's about following in your parents' footsteps. So I feel like this person is following in their parents' footsteps, but I'm also noticing this fire behind them. So I'm hoping that your person is phoenixing out of that energy, that they're realizing it didn't start with them. But it's very like earth and fire. It's very withdrawn energy here. Very lone, like lone wolf energy is what I'm hearing. Brown eyes could be symbolic. And the lizard talks about, you know, stepping back from the bright lights in the big city, which is making me think of hermit energy. Let's get a few more for your person. A few more for your person. We have the golden egg. That's good. That's good. Okay, so we have the owl. So this person could be watching you. It always gives me Page of Swords energy, air energy, so there's a lot of mental thought going on. They could even be clairvoyant or highly intuitive, but I feel like they're watching right now. We also have the tiger in reverse. So this person may have a hard time being alone. And that's the thing about the hermit. Like, with the hermit energy, you have to, it's self-reflection. It's isolation. And you learn how to be comfortable with yourself. If this is someone who has like a bit of avoidant tendencies, or just what I was seeing in their energy, and the octopus, they could be someone who needs to keep busy to keep themselves distracted. Like maybe when they're sitting in their own quiet energy, they feel quite uncomfortable. This is divine feminine energy, the tiger, but it's coming out in reverse. And this card is about being comfortable in the silence. They are not comfortable in this silence. Whatever silence they're receiving from you, or have been receiving from you for a while, I'm hearing, and maybe a long time, they're not comfortable with it. And I don't think they're comfortable being in their own company. And I'm hearing something like when you're sitting in your own company, it's hard not to look at yourself and to self-reflect. So that is interesting. So they could be watching you in silence, like not, I feel like they don't like not knowing what's going on with you. The tiger, overstimulated. So it's another card about overstimulation. So you could be dealing with someone undiagnosed, like maybe they don't even know they're autistic or have ADHD. I was undiagnosed when I found out that I was autistic, highly spiritual. And I stopped trying to be like a all typical, is that what we call them? An allistic, non-autistic person, an allistic. When I stopped trying to fit into the allistic box, my life got much better. you know, some of this energy that's coming through for your person is actually reminding me of my father. And I can see how undiagnosed ADHD and autism really feeds into the unhealthy patterns that my father is stuck in. But anyway, let's get this card, this deck for your person. Flamingo. So they could be trying to find a balance between work, shadow work, themselves, friendships. They could be trying to find balance in their life right now with the flamingo. What's on the bottom? We have the falcon, strong vision, and the snake, growth and renewal. So that's good. So let's see what comes out for them. The flamingo. What the? So what did I read about that flamingo again? 22. Balance, harmony. Balance is not something you find, it's something you create. So right now, they could have been thinking they could find balance in their life, but they're realizing it's something that they have to create. They could have been thinking, like if there was an imbalance in your connection and you were an overgiver and they were an undergiver or whatever, a taker, they could have been thinking, I just need to find the right connection where I cannot give very much, and I'll find a person who, you know, doesn't give very much either, and then we can find balance. But they're realizing that balance is something that you create. So right now they're trying to maintain a healthy balance between work, rest, and play. I embrace both the light and the dark in me, yin and yang, both the light aspects and the dark aspects. That's good because that shows they're doing shadow work. That's good. I'm going to get another one for them since you got so many. One more for this person. We have the elephant, overcoming obstacles, which is how I started this reading, talking about the mountains and overcoming obstacles. This person could be dreaming about you. 5, Hierophant energy, overcoming obstacles. I feel like they're embracing the spiritual lessons they're meant to be learning right now. What's on the bottom? The beetle. Creativity, inspiration. So they could even be, your person could be working on their creativity. They could be very creative. Oh my gosh, which one of you is eating? All right. So I want to see how your person's feeling. Introverted, focused on myself. So I want to see how they're feeling about you first. Brave. Put fears aside, courage ready, face up to it. As I said, how are they feeling about you? So they could feel like you're very brave, but there's also something about them needing to face themselves, is what I'm hearing. Curious, very curious about you because there's stillness, there's silence. Watching, investigating, snooping, spying, thirst for knowledge. Because they don't have access to you is what I'm hearing. So let's see how they're feeling about you. Connected. Empathy, deep bond. So clearly you have a lot of empathy. Makes sense with the golden mirror card. Belonging, very like soul tribe, understood, spark, feels right, close, energy still entwined, dreams. So they still feel connected to you, and they're surprised that they still feel connected to you. Didn't see it coming. Remember when I was talking about maybe you and this person like met unexpectedly, or they weren't looking for love when they met you, and they're feeling shocked that they still feel entwined in your energy. Dawson's Creek could be symbolic. I just heard, you know the way they talked on that show? I didn't get it because I didn't talk like that. But I was hearing, we're inextricably intertwined, or whatever Joey said. Indecisive, unsure, conflicted, back and forth questioning, unclear, procrastinating. And I talked about that runner energy I was picking up that was procrastinating. How are they feeling about you? How are they feeling about you? Longing. Oh my goodness gracious. You could be a very positive person. Upbeat, happy, hopeful, confident, likable, inspired, positive mindset, successful confidence, glow up energy. And you know, this can trigger people who are in their shadows. Take it from somebody who's been called Pollyanna. It can trigger people in their shadows. We have longing, missing, yearning. Remember I said yearning with the octopus. Pining, needing, wanting, nostalgic, craving, wishing. That's how they're feeling about you. I bet you it's going to completely change when I say how are they feeling about themselves. All right, how are they feeling about themselves? Let's have a look. How are they feeling about themselves? Healing? That's good. That's good. Wow. Wary? Oh, we have curious. So for how they feel about themselves, they're curious, they're intrigued, they're investigating what's going on, trying to find out more about themselves. It's giving me Page of Swords energy, and something about that book talked about learning how to understand ourselves and where we came from. We have anxious for how they're feeling about themselves. Remember the mouse? Fearful, on edge, overthinking, nervous, worried, imagining the worst, I can't. So they could be curious. If this is someone who didn't think they needed healing or was like gaslighting you, and they're curious about themselves, learning about themselves, they could be anxious now that they're seeing their reflection more clearly. Imagining the worst, I can't. They could be watching you imagining the worst as well. And we have healing. In a state of healing, that's good. Regaining strength, downtime, self-care. And I said something about how when you're in that solo energy, it can be hard at first because you're facing yourself. You know, think of the movie The Never-Ending Story, 1984 could be symbolic. But, you know, I thought the scariest part of that movie was when he went through the gate where they were shooting lasers out of their eyeballs. Like, to me, that was like, whoa, that's scary. But the scariest, hardest part was when he had to look at himself in the mirror. How is this person feeling about themselves? Sad. Impulsive. Oh dear. Reaction. Impulsive reactions. What did I say? Impulsive reactions. Acting like lashing out. The crocodile in reverse. The scorpion. Acting without thinking. Being hasty. Daring and adventurous, maybe, but I feel like when they're not in their shadows, maybe they are very daring and adventurous and spontaneous. But I think that it also shows when they're triggered. So impulsive reactions, that's what they're feeling about themselves right now, wanting a reaction from you. So some people do that subconsciously. They don't know they're wanting a reaction from you, but that's kind of what subconsciously they're looking for. So they could have wanted a reaction from you and maybe you just went quiet. Gaslighting, wanting validation, attention-seeking, provoking, power play, emotionally. And I just finished saying the hardest part in that movie was when he had to face himself in the mirror. So they know they need to heal this. Sad, desire, nervous, worried, uneasy, tense, insecure, apprehensive, uncomfortable, hesitant. You know, think about it. They're realizing this is how they treated you. I would be nervous and apprehensive to approach you as well. Not because of you, but because I can't believe I acted that way. I can't believe I treated someone I feel so connected to that way, right? Desire, sexual attraction, lust, temptation, hunger, passion, hot, beautiful. Hot? You're hot? Oh, that's how they feel about themselves, but I think that's more about you. Maybe this person thought they were hot stuff. Maybe they were tempted by something. Anyway, sad, low, unhappy, melancholy, down, troubled, disappointed. They let themselves down. Remember the sun in reverse. Dark cloud. All right. Well, see how it changed when I said how are they feeling about themselves versus how are they feeling about you? That's very telling. I knew that was going to happen. Come on. I left the charms out, so now I have to clean up all the cards around the charms. Shocked. That just flew out again. I feel like they're shocked that they're shocked and ashamed that they treated you that way. All right. Oh, you don't belong there. Oh my goodness. Hang on. I paused it at 2:22 in the afternoon. So I'm just going to get a couple of cards for you from this deck, you and them. So we'll see you first. Surrender, trusting the process. So I do feel like you're surrendering to your own transformation. Remember that image, surrendering to growing your wings, embracing that divine feminine energy with the white swan. Surrendering what you can't control. Manifesting, you could be working on something creative with that card. This one, it's out of your hands, so you're surrendering it, is what I'm hearing. Walking away for now. And manifesting. All right, so let's see your beautiful energy. Healing the inner child. Healing your childhood wounds. Great. Amazing. Good for you. No one else is going to do it. And we have self-expansion, growing. I like that for you. And we have future dreams, envisioning forever. And look at this. We have games and regretting things in the past. Coming out with future dreams. So these two came out together. Healing inner child, growing. What did I say that said? Self-expansion. Beautiful. Red could be symbolic. And then for future dreams, this and this. So just looking at these cards, I feel like you're envisioning and manifesting, right? That manifesting card. So I feel like you're envisioning what you want in the future, and what you don't want is games. What you don't want is being with someone who doesn't take you seriously. Or I'm hearing that song, Quit Playing Games with My Heart. And mistakes, regretting things in the past. So you could have regrets that you... I'm using the word enabled. I'm not saying that you were enabling them, but you could have regrets for like burning yourself so many times with this person. You could have regrets for not healing your inner child sooner. You could have regrets for feeling like you could control this. You could have regrets for, engaging with them for as long as you did when they were in that energy, is what I'm hearing. An affirmation just popped down that you are important. So you could have regrets that you didn't see how important you were in the past. And maybe you were accepting less than you deserved. All right. Let's get one more for you. Well, so this is very clear. Future plans reuniting. So you do still have hope that you and this person coming back together. That's what you would like. Future plans coming back together, reunited. But not with this. Not with the games. Not with the golden mirror. All right, now clearing, purging negativity. That's good. So I'm just going to shuffle this for your person. Insecurity. Your person feeling insecure. Ugh, distorted feminine energy. That is, feeling insecure would be wounded feminine energy. Wounded feminine energy, manipulation, going around in circles just for the sake of fighting. That's wounded feminine energy. Makes sense. One more, soul ties. I feel so connected to you. So remember that connected card. I think they were in a bit of distorted energy. Masculine and feminine. Infatuated. Watching. I feel like they don't have access to you. Flow. Releasing resistance. That's good. So you had purging negativity, surrendering, and they have releasing resistance. Do you see how mirroring works? And because I feel like they don't have access to you, they're watching you. They're obsessed with you right now. Infatuated with you. All right, show me this person's energy. Insecurities came out. Toxic feminine came out. Reunited, wanting to come back together. Okay, that's good. So we have toxic feminine, we have divine feminine, and we have insecurities. So I wasn't picking up on third-party energy, but I will say for some of you, you would know about this. They could have a toxic feminine who feels very insecure about you because maybe they talk about you a lot, or maybe you come up in conversation a lot. Maybe sometimes there's comparison to you, which could be, and I'm not talking about gender, but they could have someone in their life that's jealous of you. Could even be a friend. That's not going to be for all of you. What I'm hearing with this is we have insecurities, divine feminine, toxic feminine. So I feel like this person is seeing or feeling you in your divine feminine energy you're not chasing. Whereas in the past, maybe you partook or engaged in those patterns of going around in circles, the arguments. That's like distorted feminine energy. So I feel like they're seeing you in divine feminine energy, and it's causing them to feel insecure because you're no longer in this wounded feminine energy. The other thing, the fact that these two came out together is showing that they are healing their toxic feminine energy, which talks about manipulation. And we have angel of love. Angels guiding this connection. So there's a little bit of divine intervention with your person here. And we do have wanting to come back together. You inspire me to be better. And remember I said, I was seeing that message. I've never wanted to change. So I feel like you are inspiring this person to heal and do better. And I feel like they know the only way they're going to come back together with you is if they heal. Let's get a few more for your person. What the heck was that? Let's see what this card was that hit me in the face. Shadow, facing their dark side. Looking at their reflection. Their shadow smacked them in the face. Did you see that? They can't ignore it anymore. That was magical. And we have fairy tale. This feels like a dream. So clearly they feel... I always say the term fairy tale is so misleading. Like fairy tale, you think, oh, everything's perfect. People are like, I'm sick of people talking about the twin flame journey like it's a fairy tale. Clearly you've never seen a fairy tale. A fairy tale, the two people come together. Like, let's just talk about The Little Mermaid. They see each other. It's instant love, instant connection. And then she loses her voice, and there's another person that gets involved, a karmic. There's battles, there's ups and downs, there's separation. Like, in that sense, it is a fairy tale. So clearly they feel something different about this connection, which is why you inspire them to do better. They're finally facing their dark side, their shadow. And think about the flamingo, yin and yang. So they're embracing both the light and the dark aspects of themselves. That's good. One more. Let's do one more. Apology. So they are feeling apologetic. I don't know why I couldn't think of the word. Signs being guided to you. So they're seeing signs and synchronicities. We have letting go for now. So it's like you're both letting go for now. And I think it's good. It doesn't mean this person is letting you go. But they're apprehensive and nervous about approaching you. So they are letting go for now so that they can heal and work on this apology. You could have rejected their apology at one point. I don't know. All right, 2 decks left. 2 decks left. I keep putting my cards in the wrong place. There we go. So let's get some tarot. We're just going to do a you and them. We have the Hierophant on the bottom, higher level of commitment, soul contract, Taurus energy. All right. I'm going to shuffle that one more time. Knight of Wands, runner energy. Running from commitment. Let's cut the deck. We have the Queen of Cups in reverse. Overgiving. Leading to emotional burnout, 10 of Wands in reverse. You know, the Queen of Cups overgives from a lack of self-love. They could have thought, and I'm not saying this to hurt you, they could have thought that you were needy. There could have been like a codependent attachment, or you could have felt codependently attached to them. But when you overgive, Queen of Cups in reverse. I am ready to receive the love I deserve. Oh my. As I'm talking about it, that was the affirmation that popped down 2, 3, 4 here in the afternoon. 2, 3, 4, I am ready to receive the love I deserve. And the Queen of Cups in reverse as we're talking about it. You are ready to receive the love that you deserve. I feel like when you were giving to this person, it was like pouring into a cup with a lid on the top. And you just gave and gave and gave. You could be someone who often puts other people first, but when you give and give and give, you empty your own cup and you become resentful and angry and worn out, emotionally burnt out, 10 of Wands. And I feel like you couldn't keep giving to this, so you had to put those burdens down. Three of Swords in reverse, healing. So you could be healing an overgiver wound here. All right, let's see your energy first. So that ran out while I was shuffling, so I stopped just so that you could see the cards that came out. But I did see the Emperor want to pop out for you. So that is divine masculine energy, your energy, knowing your worth. Anyway, let's see what's... My tummy is grumbling. Oh my gosh. For those of you who say you don't believe in this, how can you not? The Wheel of Fortune. Death. The Butterfly. The Bat. So your current energy, you're making adjustments. You could be getting good karma right now, but like fate, karma cycles, forces of the universe, it's out of your hands, destiny, synchronicity. So right now, this wheel is starting to turn in your favor. You're going through a transformation. A cycle has ended. An old version of you. And look at this image, because we had the hourglass come out. Needs time, takes time. And we see this person looking at that hourglass. Page of Swords. So learning about yourself, self-expansion, I'm hearing. You could be taking a course. I like it. Transformation, maybe transformation when it comes to how you communicate as well. Let's get one more. Ten of Swords in reverse. Yeah. Ten of Swords in reverse. Lesson learned. Cycle ended. Cycle completion. Lesson learned. I've learned my lesson. Ten of Swords in reverse. Painful swords falling out. And we have the Hierophant. So focused on... Maybe you learned a spiritual lesson, but focused on your spiritual growth. Hang on. Oh my gosh, who's eating? I had to go eat something. So learning an important lesson here. Painful swords falling out. Maybe even stepping into your mission as a mentor to help others, a spiritual leader. I like that for you. All right. Healing trauma that has kept you stuck for moving forward. Releasing limiting beliefs about spirituality, maybe. About divinity. About yourself. I want to see how you're feeling about your person. How are you feeling about your person? We've got Temperance. Balance. You're trying to be patient. You could be re-examining choosing them as a priority or prioritizing them over other things. Four of Coins. So you feel like you haven't been able to let them go energetically. You still feel connected to them. You could be feeling like they are insecure, or they didn't give you... They weren't giving you balanced love. They were like holding back or being stingy with what they were giving you. Because there's a lot about balance here. Temperance, Sagittarius energy, Taurus energy. We have Taurus, Aquarius, Scorpio, Leo energy coming out. There definitely could have been something that was out of balance here where it wasn't giving reciprocity, or you weren't getting reciprocity. Two of Cups. You clearly have feelings for this person. It does feel like you would like to talk to them. Two of Cups, engaging in an honest and heartfelt conversation. The Star. So you haven't given up hope. You haven't given up hope here. You're trying to keep a positive mindset that there will be a healing conversation. You're trying to be patient, avoiding pressure. Aquarius energy with the star, but clearly you feel like this person needs to heal. All right. Show me this person's energy. We've got the High Priestess in reverse. Why does your person keep smacking me in the face with the cards? High Priestess in reverse. Ignoring their intuition. That's interesting. I just want to look at something. Suppressed intuition. Letters B, J could be symbolic. There could be something they're concealing here. Your person's current energy. Interesting. Your person's current energy. Ugh, we have the Devil. I need to think about this because the card said... I need to grab my book. Let me see if I can reach it. Hang on. It's so far away. Their cards said they were starting to look at their shadows, right? So it could be shadows they've been suppressing are now starting to come to light for them. Cognitive dissonance. Hiding true self. They're hiding right now. Cognitive dissonance. So their shadow and it's like their light and their dark are at war with each other. Their intuition and their ego are at war with each other right now. Feeling isolated. It's like they're sitting alone, isolated. Remember I mentioned that? With their shadows, like having... It's like their ego is fighting it. I'm kind of in your person's energy right now. It's funny, this High Priestess talks about being afraid to ask yourself questions. So it's like this person is seeing these shadows they've suppressed and they're questioning themselves, or they're afraid to really look at these shadows. But they are looking at them. Let me confirm this. They've got 2 major arcanas coming out. Okay. King of Cups in reverse. Emotionally manipulative. This is really interesting to me because... And if you want me to do, like, if you're sitting there like, I wish I could see the cards, I don't want to see your face. I do lots of card readings. I do lots of them. I have like 1,500 videos up. I guarantee more than half of them are the cards. They're all timeless. Some people like to see my face. Some people like to see the table. I do a mix of both. I just can't please everybody. But let me just show you these. So this person... There's something about their ancestral, it didn't start with you. Remember that book? It started with their family. And they're looking at how it stemmed, like what they inherited from their family, these shadows they inherited from their family, specifically about defensiveness. And the King of Cups in reverse. This, I'm hearing, I don't know what it's from, but I'm hearing, am I the problem? Am I the problem? And it's like, that's the question that they're asking themselves right now that they were afraid to ask themselves. Am I the problem? Like, was the problem actually that person overgiving to me? Or am I the problem by not giving enough? Low effort in love, King of Cups in reverse, emotional manipulation, defensiveness, stemming from inherited trauma is what I'm hearing. And their opinions of their family and friends could be here. With the Ten of Pentacles and the Seven of Wands, there could be external factors like family and friends. And I talk about this sometimes. When we heal, we really need to work with someone who is impartial, that doesn't know us, who's not worried about hurting our feelings. I'm talking about a counselor, a mentor, a therapist who isn't worried that if they tell us, well, actually, you were in the wrong, that we're going to cut off our friendship with them, right? So in this circumstances, friends and family can actually give bad advice. They could have people around them who don't call them on their shadows or don't see their shadows, especially if it's their family that have the same shadows. You know what I mean? I'm hearing misery loves company. So bottom line, your person is taking a good hard look at themselves here. And it's like I'm hearing, am I the problem? I thought they were the problem. Like they thought you were the problem. How are they feeling about you? And I feel like their intuition has been trying to get through to them, but they've been ignoring it. Drowning it out. You know, like when you have a bad habit and you hear that whisper, that's bad for you. You should quit. That's bad for you. And every now and again, it's just like, that's bad for you. And you ignore it. I like cookies. I don't want to quit eating cookies. I feel like your person, for a while, their intuition was like, you're the problem. I'm not saying they were the only problem. I feel like we all have shadows and we all have things we need to heal. But I feel like their intuition was trying to tell them to look at themselves and they were ignoring it. How are they feeling about you? These cards are shuffling really weirdly. Ace of Pentacles, so they do see potential within you. They want a new beginning with you. They want your forgiveness. Three of Swords in reverse. They could feel like you've healed and moved on, but this is about wanting forgiveness, wanting to apologize, wanting to make amends, wanting reconciliation. We have the Magician. These cards came out like their other cards in a clump. So we have the Magician. We do have the Fool here. So they could be worried that you're manifesting a new beginning or you've already moved on. But there's also this, they want to come towards you with a solid offer. They want to take a leap of faith towards you. They could feel like they were foolish here. We have the Page of Cups, new perspectives. This could be new perspectives about their own childhood wounding. The Page of Cups can also talk about an apology. So there's 4 cards here about this person feeling like they want to offer you something. Like they want to communicate with you. Maybe apologize for appearing manipulative. or apologize for being immature with you. Let's get one more for feelings. 9 of Coins. They're definitely conflicted about coming towards you. 9 of Coins. There's a crow on there. No. Are those pigeons? They might be pigeons. But for how they feel about you, you're glowing. Very independent, very self-sufficient, working on your stability, glow up energy. So they could be intimidated to come towards you. Conflicted, so they're conflicted. You also there could have been a fear of giving up their own independence when it came to you. Maybe this person was like hyper independent, also stems from trauma. Maybe you're hyper independent. Hang on. All right, let's look at their intentions. King of Coins. So their intentions are to mature, to offer you stability, and to persevere, to fight for this connection. The King of Coins also talks about emotional and financial safety. So their intentions are to 9 of Wands, stop being so defensive, and provide emotional and financial stability here. This is marriage, King of Pentacles. An offer you can't refuse is what I'm hearing. Let's confirm that. This person's intentions. Throw cards at you? Geez, your person keeps throwing cards at me. We have the 2 of Pentacles, balance. So their intentions are to find balance. Remember the flamingo, blue jay. To find balance between work and rest and personal life and all those things. To offer you consistency. What action are they going to take? I'm not looking at... Interesting. 6 of Cups. Intentions. To heal this, to find balance, 2 of Pentacles, but remember cognitive dissonance. 2 of Pentacles can be about cognitive dissonance, so I feel like their intentions are to listen to their heart, listen to their emotions, their intuition, but that's about reunion, coming back together, reaching out. Now, just as I said I wasn't going to ask timing, this card is 6 months. I'm going to look at actions. I don't want to put a time on it, though, because you're in the process of surrendering. And the Wheel of Fortune, it's on the divine's time. Or it's depending on your wheel and their wheel coming into alignment again. So unless Spirit screams timing at me, we do have the 6 of Cups that came out 6 months. But let's look at their action. Their next action, that's really good. What is happening? I need to show you what came out here. Hang on. How can I do this? Oops, that's not a good angle. Look at what came out for action. The Emperor in the upright, 5 of Swords in reverse. The song Landslide just started playing. Does that talk about, well, I've been afraid of changing, but I've built my life upon you? Anyway, so those came out for action. So I wasn't going to put timing on this, but 5 weeks could be symbolic, except it's in reverse, so there could be a delay. 5 weeks with a delay. But 5 of Swords in reverse is about making amends. It's about the end of conflict, the end of self-sabotage, the end of mind games, the Emperor taking a stand, stepping up, leading, taking action. That's really good. And then we have the 4 of Swords in reverse. What are you? And the 3 of Cups. Look at that. So 4 weeks to 3 months. 4 weeks with a delay to 3 months. Or 5 weeks with a delay to 6 months. But coming out of isolation. Release from isolation after healing, after clarity. That's why if they wanted to, they would. Doesn't always apply, because even if they wanted to, they're being put here in Hermit energy and 4 of Swords energy until they do the healing. And then once they do the healing, Spirit releases them from isolation. 3 of Cups, that's coming towards you with some sort of, it's reconnection, reuniting, coming towards you with some sort of social interaction or communication. What is your advice? Huh? What? The 4 of Wands and the Knight of Coins. So, it's slow moving. You will see the rewards of your efforts, Knight of Coins, but it's slow moving. 4 of Wands is about union. For some of you, focus on your mission or an entrepreneurial pursuit. That could make the time fly by is what I'm hearing. But focus on your stability, your home, possibly some sort of entrepreneurial, be an entrepreneur. I don't know how to say it. Focus on your own stability. And in time, there's the potential of union. But it'll take determination. Slowest moving knight in the deck. So, just remember that. Slow moving energy. But you do have a card of union here. So focus on inner union. Knight of Pentacles advice. Slow and steady progress will lead you to success. Your diligent and hard work will be well paid. Remain consistent and committed to your goals. Okay? All right. I want to get these from your person. Let's just get a couple of these. Everyone wants you. Everyone wants you. That's their fear, is that everybody wants you. And that they're worried that you will find someone better than they're ready, before they're ready to be the person you deserve. Clearly you're attracting attention. Well, these two just fell in my hand. I want to spend the rest of my life with you, grow old with you, have a family, and live out our last days together as one. I believe we are meant to build an empire together. All right. I am working on myself so that we can come into union. I need you to trust me right now. And you just had that 4 of, like, this person. I remain grateful through the highs and lows. That's your affirmation. But I feel like in time, this person is working towards union. All right, no bottom of the deck. I am transforming, but I need to do this alone and find out who I really am. I want to be the best version of me for you. My life is one big mess, and I am working hard to fix it so I can be free. Please be patient with me. I have toxic attachments. Also, karmic energy could be at play. I have toxic attachments to drug and alcohol. I use them to suppress the pain of not having you in my life. I daydream about the moment I can sweep you off your feet and embrace you with a kiss. You have my heart and make me feel whole. You are my one and only true love. Remember in the charms we had that filled heart. I've made peace with my past and I am working on bringing balance into our connection. The flamingo, balance. I keep seeing your name and things that remind me of you everywhere. Synchronicities, follow the signs. They had that card. I want to be in union just as bad as YouTube. I want to be in union just as bad as you do, but timing is key and we need to be patient. Remember your advice. Be patient, Knight of Pentacles and the Union card. I'm going to get a couple more. Another card that got thrown out. I wonder what it is. This one is sticking out, so I guess I should take it. I ask myself if I am who you truly deserve. There's the insecurity. Okay. This is what came flying out. I am working on myself so we can come into union. I need you to trust me right now. God brought you into my life for a reason. I am trying to understand the purpose of our connection. You've changed me for the better. I'm breaking generational curses and moving towards you. Generational cycles. I am planning on reaching out to explain why I went quiet, and I'm hoping you are willing to listen. You visit me in my dreams, the elephant dreams. I cannot escape the thought of you and need to feel your body on mine. Oh my. All right, so I'm going to leave it there, my beautiful friends. I'm sending you lots of love and light, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.